If you're trying to automate everything in your business with AI, you're probably making it worse, not better. I just finished a book called The Algorithm by one of Elon Musk's direct reports named John McNeil. And what's inside the book is the exact opposite of what every YouTube guru is telling you to do. The book is about the 5-step process that Elon uses to solve really hard problems. The same ones that turned Tesla from chaos into one of the most successful companies on this planet. And in this 5-step process, one of the most interesting things is that most entrepreneurs skip the first 4 steps and jump all the way to the end. The 5th step being automation. And that's why their business breaks. In this video, I'm going to walk you through all 5 steps with examples from the book and real world examples of how I'm using it in my company, Prsnt. Step 1, question the requirements. You can't solve what you don't know. If you don't intimately understand what's required to hit the goal, you don't know where the constraints are. And if you don't know where those constraints are, you can't start solving the problem. Here's what questioning the requirements look like for me in my business. Before I started my supplement brand Prsnt, a lot of people in the space were telling me that it was too expensive, too regulated, and too risky to bootstrap, which made me almost stop. But instead of stopping, I started questioning all the requirements. What actually did it take to be able to launch the brand and cut out all of the stuff that was unnecessary? I called manufacturers, I started talking with other founders in the space, and I was able to get down to the bare bones of what actually needed to happen to be fully compliant, fully legal, but able to launch with the small bootstrapped budget that I had. For example, initially, I thought I had to work with an attorney, get the maximum level of insurance, and work with a product formulator that would have cost me over $20,000. But after questioning all of those inputs, I realized I only needed a few lines of FDA compliant language on my label, this one specific kind of insurance, and my manufacturer worked one-on-one with me to help formulate my product the way that I wanted it to be. Those 3 things alone saved me well over $10,000 in the startup phase and helped me get to market much faster. If you don't question all the requirements, you may be solving the wrong problem. Step 2, eliminate parts. One of my favorite Elon quotes is that the best process is no process. The most efficient system isn't the prettiest Notion board or the best project management tool. It's one that doesn't even need to exist at all. Here's a fun little example that may hit a little too close to home. A lot of founders have these fancy organized Notion boards, but in reality, that's taking up too much time due to way too much context switching and trying to get it all organized. When in reality, jotting down a simple idea in Apple Notes might have been the most efficient thing you could have done without having to do all of the beautification of Notion or whatever project management tool you operate in. Stop trying to optimize something that doesn't need to exist in the first place. If you're not adding pieces back into the process after you've deleted a bunch, you're not deleting enough. All right, step 3, simplify and then optimize. So I got this step wrong for a long time. I thought it was just 1 step, but actually it's 2 wrapped into 1. After you've questioned the requirements and you've deleted enough parts of the system, then you simplify and then you optimize that. Here's an example from the book that I thought I would share about this step in particular. Several years back, Tesla was scaling so fast that they couldn't train sales reps fast enough. Every time they had to train a new sales rep, it was a 2-day program. It was essential enough that they didn't need to delete it, but it was just too complex for the speed that they needed to be moving at. They were able to take the 2-day training down to just 1 sentence. Be so good that they talk about you at dinner. That one line replaced 2 whole days of training. And it didn't just make the training faster, it made it better. It became the driving ethic in every conversation that the sales rep would have during the day. And that's what real simplification looks like. It's not chopping things down, it's making them less but better. Step 4, accelerate cycle time. If you've noticed something in this video so far, it's that these steps are very strategically linear. And so with accelerating lead time, you can't make something move faster that you haven't questioned, eliminated, simplified, and optimized first before you go forward and make it move a lot faster. If you try to do this step earlier, you'll just be moving more and more broken stuff faster and faster. But once you get to this point, you can basically just step on the gas. And that leads us to step 5, automate last. This is the one everyone wants to start with. It's the sexy one right now. It's trying to use AI to build your business while you sleep, or automate everything that needs real legitimate human interaction and intentionality first. Because if you try to automate anything up to this point without doing the first 4 steps, you're just automating a conveyor belt of garbage. This is why automation is last. Not to make you move slower, but to force you to understand the system that you're automating. If you've ever tried to automate something using Claude or ChatGPT, you know that it takes you hours just to try to get a simple thing done because you keep reprompting, not because the AI is broken necessarily, but because you're trying to get it to spit out something that you don't quite know what to prompt it with. You don't exactly know all of the inputs needed that are going to define the proper outputs of that LLM. You can only automate what you deeply understand. You've probably heard the quote that AI won't take your job, but rather people who know how to use AI will. And it's because people who have an intimate understanding of the process know how to automate things better than people who don't. It's that simple. So here's the algorithm one more time. Question, eliminate, simplify and optimize, accelerate, and then finally last, automate. It sounds anti-speed, it sounds anti-startup and anti-AI automation, but it's what some of the best companies in the world use for hypergrowth, and it's worth listening to. So who are you gonna trust? The AI bro that's trying to sell you a course, or some of the world's fastest growing companies? Right now, I'm knee deep in using this exact framework to grow my own company, Prsnt. Over a year ago, we made the first focus plus electrolyte blend that helps you fuel your pursuit. I know the reason you clicked on this video is because you're trying to solve some big problems you can't seem to get to the other side of. And so I highly recommend going to the first link in the description to get our focus blend to help give your mind the best possible chance at solving some of your biggest problems that you're facing. I hope this video has helped you in one way or another. You're not stuck. You've just got to follow a process that'll help you see things from a different angle. You got this. Peace.